Alright, so MagicCon released a ton of stuff, all the new sets that are coming out in 2027, and a lot of different Secret Lairs, and a lot of different promos, and more Final Fantasy stuff. I'm not going to cover everything, but what I'm going to focus on mostly in this video is the Secret Lairs that are coming out, and I'm quite excited for a couple, and not excited for a couple others, so let's jump right into it. Before I start the video, as a quick reminder, check out my links down below to help support the channel. I am now in partnership with Baron of Dice. They have some awesome TCG accessories like playmats, deck boxes, and dice. And if you want to level up your setup, it is the perfect way to do so. And if you want to support the channel directly and get some sweet perks, consider joining the Patreon. If you want to get early access to videos or even some deck help, Patreon is where it's at. And so without further ado, let's get back into the video. Alright, there are two separate drops, one for Halloween scares and also one for the Sony PlayStation best games, basically. And all of them are pretty unique in their own aspects. There's some that I like, again, that I mentioned previously, and some that I'm not quite a big fan of. I'm going to be diving into each Secret Lair Super Drop. I'm not going to necessarily go over price value of each of these cards because, let's just be real, a lot of Secret Lair cards here and there, even though they might be cheap in their normal frame, they will be expensive sometimes in their new Secret Lair frame. So that is worth consideration, so that's why I'm not really going to go over price. I might go over more playability and overall value on how these Secret Lairs might perform. So first things first, I'm going to go over Secret Lair Secret Scare Super Drop. This one is basically the Halloween themed drop, even though some of them are not necessarily Halloween themed. You do get a promo with Cryptic Command, a more outdated card, but still pretty decent in Commander. You get this by spending enough money, or you go to the LGS and probably buy a cheap one for like $2 to $5. They've had a lot of promos in the past where they try to incentivize you to spend more money just to get that specific card, and I've always seen those cards dip in value so much. So to me personally, just buy the Secret Lairs you want in most cases. But this is going to start October 13th. That's perfect because, you know, with the 13th, that is a very unsettling number for a lot of people. And we're going to dive into the first Secret Lair Super Drop. Alright, so the first Secret Lair coming up is Artist Series Kieran Yanner, and this one is a fantastic piece with Armageddon, which is kind of frowned upon in Commander, obviously. Northern Paladin, Demonic Tutor, and Lord of the Pit, and the big ticket money item is obviously Demonic Tutor. This is like a $60, $70 card, and obviously this is going to be a fantastic Secret Lair if you love the art, which I do personally. This is going to cost $29.99 or $39.99 for 4 different cards, and you're basically paying $40 for a Demonic Tutor, and you get a free Armageddon and with all these other cards, because that is a steal basically. Demonic Tutor is a widely played card in Commander. Not a lot of people like playing against tutors, but this is basically one of the best tutors in the game. All-in-one Secret Lair is going to be fabulous, so I like this one a lot. If I had to give like a score, I would give it like a 4 out of 5, maybe even a 5 out of 5 because of just the art and also Demonic Tutor being in a Secret Lair. I've never thought I'd see that coming. But let's move on to the next one with Secret Lair Jaws Terror of Amity Island, and this one is fabulous. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like different IPs from different stuff, but I like this a lot. I don't know why. I love Jaws. I'm a big Universal Studios fan, and so when I saw the Jaws Secret Lair, my first thoughts was, why isn't it blue? It's all just mono red, which honestly is okay. I guess it's going towards that shark aggression, but still, I'm surprised there's no blue in there, but it's not that big of a deal. Mainly because this card works very well with the flavor of Jaws. So this is the first unique card that we're seeing today. I'm going to go over those a little bit more in depth compared to the other cards because they're just reprints. So with Jaws Relentless Predator for 3 and 2 red, it's a 5/5 legendary shark with trample and haste, and I can't even really read that. Whenever Jaws deals combat damage to a player, create that many blood tokens. Whenever a non-creature artifact is sacrificed or destroyed, Jaws deals 1 damage to each opponent. Sorry, I had to read that like very zoomed in because I'm kind of far away from my monitor. I'm kind of reading this at a distance. But this is a very fun commander. There's going to be a lot of cool strategies that you can make with this. I'm going to build a deck tech around this later this week, so definitely stay tuned if you want to see that video, and maybe subscribe if you want to see more videos like these. So Jaws is a unique card. Most likely these will be going up or down depending on how bought this Secret Lair is. There's a lot of cool cards in here like Descent into Avernus, which is perfect with Jaws. You're making a lot of treasure tokens and dealing a lot of damage to players. Of course, your opponents are going to get treasure tokens, but that's completely okay because Jaws wants everybody to sacrifice non-artifacts. So this is a perfect card and a fun new reskin. There's Reckless Endeavor, Sneak Attack, which is a very good reprint, and you're going to need a bigger boat with a braid, and of course there's a really cool blood token with Chum in a bucket. I think that's just unique with Jaws. This is basically Jaws build your own commander deck around it. Even though it's in mono red, there's a lot of cool strategies you could use. So I like this one a lot. There's some good value. Of course, the big ticket item is a mechanically unique Jaws card. And this one is also going for the $39.99 for the non-foil and rainbow foil $49.99. And you're going to notice that with a lot of mechanically unique Secret Lairs, they will be bumped up a little bit more in value compared to the others. So that is something to notice. All right, so next up is one that I'm kind of cringing at, but I kind of like. I don't know how to make up my mind on the office being in Magic the Gathering. We have a lot of cool reprints in here with reskins with Dwight. You have Heliod, you have Steel Shaper's Gift, Swords Plowshares, Brawl Chief of Compliance, Recyclops, which is Garrick, the both flip versions, and Reaper King, which is all really cool reprints. I like the art on these, but again, it's just really weird seeing Dwight from The Office in a Magic the Gathering card, or should I say Magic the Gathering cards. Most of these are pretty much playable staples. Swords to Plowshares, of course, is going to be the most staple-ish kind of card in this type of deck, and this one is actually going for $29.99 and $39.99 for the foil. So again, there's no mechanically unique card in here. They're all reprints and reskins, which makes this layer a little bit more digestible compared to Jaws, even though I'm probably going to get Jaws because it's sweet. But we're going to go down and we're going to go to a Dreaming Darkly, and so this is an Artist Series Secret Lair. I'm pretty sure all these could kind of fit into one deck with Rune of the Hidden Realm, a more outdated commander, but still pretty decent. You have Glenelendra Archmage, which works as a pretty good counterspell. You have Guardian Project, which is a staple in green decks. You draw a bunch of cards when creatures enter the battlefield, and Soul Herder. So this is a clear example of just a ETB Secret Lair, which is pretty good overall on the value with Guardian Project. If you like Rune, then this is definitely the Secret Lair for you. This is another Secret Lair that's $29.99 and $39.99 for the rainbow foil. So this one's cool. I don't know if I'm going to get it. Again, the art is really cool. I like the different look and different take of this compared to other Secret Lairs. And next up is one that I never saw coming. Again, all these Secret Lairs really caught me by surprise. The next one after the Iron Maiden is one that I didn't really want to see in Magic the Gathering. I'm just going to be honest. The Iron Maiden album art is really cool. I like the Iron Maiden art. I don't really listen to them personally. You have Lethal Scheme, which is a good removal spell. Grave Titan, which is a classic giant that makes zombies on the battlefield. Animate Dead, which is a great playable reanimation spell. Temporal Trespass, if you love extra turns, there you go. You also have Unearth, which is another great reanimation spell, and Lignify, which is a great removal spell in green. So this is another one. Again, since there's no mechanically unique card, this one will cost $29.99 and $39.99 for the rainbow foil. But we're going to move along to the other Iron Maiden Secret Lair. This one is pretty good. Eddie Unchained. This has a lot of great staples and a lot of good commander options too. Eddie the Judge is a great mill option, a great reprint of Bruvac. You also have Windfall, which is a great wheel spell. Captain Nagathrod as a reskin with Eddie Ghost of Navigator, which is a really cool art piece. You have Eddie Lord of Light, and of course you do have Iron Maiden after all, as well as Mindcrake. So this one has, I think, the most cards in the Secret Lairs with 6 cards total, and again, it's going to be the same price of $29.99 and $39.99. I like this. The art is really cool. I never really listened to Iron Maiden, but I can appreciate what it's trying to do. And this one is very adorable with Trick or Treat. This one has some great reprints with Vito, Satoru Umezawa, Voja, Wilhel, and Liberator, Urza's Battlethopter. All these are basically commanders that you can choose from. If you like the art, if you like the cuteness direction of kids dressing up in costumes, this might be a Secret Lair for you, but this might be an individual pickup. Of course, there's some great stapley commanders like Wilhel. This is basically the de facto go-to commander for zombies. You have Vito, which is a great combo enabler. Voja, Jaws of the Conclave. A lot of people don't like this card because it's just kind of too overpowered for what it's doing in casual commander. So there's 5 total cards in the Secret Lair. Again, the same price of $29.99 and $39.99. But we're gonna go into cringe territory. I think some people like this. I'm personally not a fan. I'm just being real with you guys. It is the Furby Secret Lairs, and so this one is more about staples. You have Soul Ring, Chromatic Lantern, Inspiring Call, Explore, and Distant Melody. This is probably the lowest value Secret Lair compared to the rest, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a confetti foil with this one too for being $60. Again, if you're into this, I'm happy for you. I just can't. I'm sorry. And then there's Furby the Gathering. So there's a bunch of different arts within Furby with Magic the Gathering. Of course, you have, I believe that's Aurelia with Sphere of Safety. You have all the Furbies within the sphere with Aurelia. You also have Miscast, which is cool. I mean, I like the art. It's good. Phyrexian Arena, which is a classic staple. Tormenting Voice, which is definitely going to give me nightmares for sure looking at that art piece. And you have Tameo Safekeeping. So again, staples here and there. Not really super valuable as far as as price goes. And then you have the last Furby, Secret Lair, which is honestly probably the scariest one out of the bunch. You have Hullbreaker Horror, Maiden and Cacophony, Cerebisms, and Umbrus, Fear Manifest. This is definitely going to give me nightmares for sure. And you have Spellskite, and so this one is probably the most valuable Secret Lair compared to the rest, having Umbrus and Hullbreaker Horror. Both of these are pretty much staples. You also have Spellskite, which is a really good card to protect a creature you control. And this one is also in Confetti Foil, and I think the previous one was in Confetti Foil too. So all three of these were in Confetti Foils, and so overall to give you my opinions about these Secret Lairs, I think some of these are cool. I love the Kieran Yanner Secret Lair with Demonic Tutor. This is breathtaking, kind of seeing Magic the Gathering at its finest. I like Jaws. I'm a big movie fan for Jaws, so I kind of like this just for the novelty's sake. Dwight Schrute, I could kind of do or do without, honestly. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to love this because it's The Office. I'm personally on the fence on this one. I like the Rune Secret Lair with Dreaming Darkly, and the Iron Maiden ones are pretty cool. I love the art direction that they're going. And oh wait, never mind. This is not the Furby one. This is the Trick or Treat one, which is very cute and adorable, but then again, you go into the Furby ones, I can't. Some of these Secret Lairs are really cool, but then some of these, I'm just like, why? Again, I know there's going to be a fan base for this, so I can't discard it too much, but again, I just can't with this one. I'm sorry, guys. The next Secret Lair Superdrop will be Secret Lair X PlayStation, new Superdrop lineup. This is coming out October 27th. There's a lot of classic games that you're familiar with and maybe not familiar with in this drop. There's some that I'm personally excited about that I'm going to discuss later on, but we're going to first discuss The Last of Us Part 1. I played this game a long time ago. I didn't make it all the way through. I don't know why. Maybe it was just too scary for me at the time, but this has two mechanically unique commanders and a couple of missing cards. They didn't preview all the cards, but they do have the commanders of this deck, if you will, with Ellie Brickmaster and Joel Resolute Survivor. Each of these kind of work with each other. They have the partner survivor mechanic, which means that you have these as partners as long as they're survivors. The next drop also has that ability, so you can kind of mix and match with these. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more mechanically unique cards in the Secret Lair, or maybe even less. We'll find out as time goes. These work pretty well with each other. Ellie makes a bunch of black fungus creature tokens when opponents attack each other, but then again, whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, that does include yourself, you will make that 1/1 black fungus creature token that's tapped and attacking that player. And of course, if those tokens die, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on Joel and draw a card. It'll only trigger once each turn, but again, that's pretty good card draw if consecutively, if you go around turn order, within 4 turns, you could potentially draw 4 cards and put 4 1/1 counters on Joel, depending on if tokens died those turns. So I like these commanders. There is also the Last of Secret Lair Part 2, and this one I haven't played personally. You have Abby Merciless Soldier and Ellie Vengeful Hunter, so these two can also kind of mix and match with these ones. And overall, these are pretty cool. Abby has the ability whenever you cast a spell, create a number of 1/1 black fungus zombie creature tokens named Cordyceps equal to the amount of mana spent to cast it. So the more commander attacks you have on this, the more Cordyceps you can make. But here's the weird downside. Abby enters the battlefield under opponent's control of your choice. So this is kind of interesting. It kind of feels like, what's that one card? Marchesa? No. Zancha? I think it's Zancha, where it just enters the opponent's side of the battlefield. So this is quite interesting. People are probably going to be incentivized to destroy this, so then you can cast it again. Make more Cordyceps on your side of the battlefield. So this is pretty interesting as a design aspect. And of course, if you go to the other side with Ellie Vengeful Hunter, she doesn't like Abby in the game, from what I remember, because Abby killed Joel. Spoiler alert. But you can pay 2 life, sacrifice another creature. Ellie deals 2 damage to target player and gains indestructible until end of turn. So this is more of a good sack outlet, as long as you have the life to pay for it. Because let's be real, she was definitely kind of sacrificing her body and her mind just to get revenge over Abby. I do know the story a little bit, but not too familiar with it. But this is pretty cool. Again, you could kind of mix and match these commanders. If you want Ellie Vengeful Hunter and Ellie Brickmaster both together, you totally can. It actually would pretty much work, because Ellie is supplying the tokens, and of course Ellie Vengeful Hunter can sacrifice those for value. So if you wanted to make a Rakdos deck, you totally could. And you're going to notice with all these Secret Lairs that they're going to be $49.99 for the foil, and non-foil is going to be $39.99 because they're mechanically unique. Usually they will be up in price, which kind of makes sense in that aspect because they're new cards. So overall, I gotta say this Secret Lair is pretty cool. Of course, if you're a big fan of the Last of Us series, this one's definitely for you. I'm personally probably not going to get it. I haven't been as big of a fan. I do like the show a lot, but not enough to buy it. But let me tell you, the next one I am super hyped for. That is Secret Lair X God of War Greek, and my mind was blown. I am a very big God of War fan. I do have a statue of Kratos literally on my desk, and so I am a big sucker for God of War, and this completely sold me. I'm definitely going to get this one for sure. So you have Kratos God of War, and I don't know if this one necessarily matches Kratos' abilities, because of course Kratos has so many abilities throughout the game, but I think this is just base Kratos when he's starting his vengeance path. He's triple red, which is absolutely great. He's just vengeful, he's chaotic, that's all he is really at the point of the game, and I wonder if this is going to be him at the beginning stages, and maybe the other new cards that are coming soon are going to be different versions of Kratos at different periods of his life fighting against the Greek gods. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. He's a legendary creature, God Warrior, which totally makes sense because he's the god of war after all. He has double strike, and all creatures have haste perfect because everyone's kind of basically hasty to get after him because he's killing all these gods. And at the beginning of each player's end step, Kratos deals damage equal to the number of creatures that player controls that didn't attack this turn. So this is a pretty cool commander. I really like it, again, because it's God of War. I'm a bigger sucker for this compared to others. I wish it had some sort of indestructible ability, like it gains indestructible if like a god got tapped or something, maybe throw that in, but again, that would be a huge amount of key text in here, and you can't really fit it all in there, and it's a 2/3 body. I wish it got like 1/1 counters whenever a creature died or something. I don't know, maybe that'd be too powerful. I don't know. I still think it's a fun card. I might build it myself because I love God of War. So of course there's the Greek version and there's also the Norse version, and I'm sad this only has 2 extra cards. I wish this had maybe 3 or 4 more new cards. All the other Secret Lairs have a total of 5, but this one only has 4, which is kind of disappointing. I wonder what kind of cards are going to be in here. Maybe Jormungandr with Como the Cosmos Serpent, but then again they might likely put all these cards in the color combination of Jeskai because these are commanders that you could choose from. You have Atreus, Impulsive Son, and Kratos, Stoic Father, and I already built the deck list for this. Immediately when I saw these cards, I'm like, building it, building it. But let's first go over Atreus, Impulsive Son. So for 1 blue and a red, it's legendary creature, God Archer, and this is the one critique I do have. He's a God Giant because he's half giant, half god with Kratos. So that's the one thing that's kind of missing in here, at least in my opinion. Maybe this is before he discovered it, but it looks like the older version of Atreus in Ragnarok, but I don't know. I don't know if they wanted to put too much key text in here, but it's a God Archer with reach. You can pay 3, tap him, draw a card for each experience counter you have, then discard a card. Atreus deals 2 damage to each opponent, and it has partner with Kratos, Stoic Father. Whenever you attack with 1 or more gods, and whenever a god dies, you get an experience counter. And at the beginning of your end step, put a number of +1/+1 counters on target creature equal to the number of experience counters you have. So both of these basically gel with each other. Kratos is getting experience counters, and Atreus learns from that by drawing cards. Kratos also has that Spartan Rage of buffing himself up to fight stronger and stronger enemies, so this is a perfect flavor win, at least in my opinion, as far as the story goes. But if we're talking power level wise, maybe it's not the most powerful thing for the Kratos God of War, or even Kratos Stoic Father. Maybe the other versions are going to be different versions of them at the time, maybe with Kratos getting the Blades of Chaos again, or even Dropnir, so either one would be cool. Again, I'm a bigger fan of the God of War series than all these other ones. I'm definitely going to be building 2 different deck techs around God of War and also Stoic Father and Impulsive Son, so definitely stay tuned. I might try to do something fun in there, but if it's too difficult, I might just pass up on it. We'll see. It's more of a surprise. We're also going into Uncharted territory with, well, Uncharted with Nathan Drake Treasure Hunter, and this also has 5 cards in here. Nathan Drake is basically a Gonti on attack trigger. It's a Grixis color commander, so as first strike, you may spend mana of any color to cast spells that you don't own, basically. And whenever Nathan Drake attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. You may cast a spell from among these cards, so this is pretty cool. Basically a theft commander, which is kind of perfect for Nathan Drake. I'm not too familiar with him, but obviously he's a treasure hunter. The Uncharted games is one that I've been kind of tempted to play around, but I haven't really got to them. I'm interested to see what the other 5 cards will be. You also have Secret Lair X Horizon Into the Forbidden West, and this one's really cool. I did play these games, and I think they're super fun. And so Aloy, Savior of Meridian, for 3 green and blue, it has Vigilance and Reach, and whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control attack, discover X, where X is the greatest power among them. So this is basically go big with a bunch of artifacts, or you could go wide with a lot of little artifacts. You're discovering X, where X is the greatest power among them, so you probably want to focus more on big artifact creatures, which makes sense in the Horizon series because there's a lot of scary big artifacts in the battlefield, or really in the game, I should say. I'm interested to see which ones are in the Secret Lair specifically. Maybe there's going to be a Blightsteel Colossus, which would be very cool, or maybe other big artifact creatures. I like artifact shells in Simic, so this one's going to be a cool one to build around for sure, and I'm probably going to build one when the Secret Lair drops fully. And last but not least, we have Secret Lair X Ghost of... I cannot pronounce that, I'm sorry. I haven't played these games. They look very cool. I've seen gameplay of this, and this commander looks pretty cool with Jin Sakai. This is going to be in 1 white, blue, and black, so an Esper color combination, a human samurai. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card, so it's a great card advantage card. Whenever a creature you control attacks a player, if no other creatures are attacking that player, you choose one. It gains double strike until end of turn, or it can't be blocked, so you have that option of going really aggressive in that double strike, or you can go on the other option of making sure you get in for some damage by making it not blocked. So this is cool. You can kind of use this as a way to get other creatures unblockable. Let's just go with the hypothetical situation of a Blightsteel Colossus. It attacks alone. You can give it double strike, which will really end the game, or you can give it unblockable, which will end the game. Either way, you're ending the game with Jin Sakai, so this is a cool concept of a commander. Again, I haven't played these games, so I'm not too familiar with these ones, and it's also coming out with 5 Secret Lairs. And again, this is the reason why I'm kind of annoyed with the God of War Norse mythology one, because it only has 4 cards while the rest have 5 cards. Like, come on, guys. Now that is going to do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and watching this video on me reviewing the 2 Secret Lair drops. I wanted to talk about all the sets, but I feel like in due time they're going to be talked about anyways on my channel, so I thought I'm just going to give more of my thoughts and opinions when they do get released. And of course, I think it's a little overwhelming as a content creator. I'm going to try to space these out, try to keep my sanity in check while all these cards are coming out left and right. But if there's any cards that I talked about today that you would like me to build a deck around, whether it's in the PlayStation Secret Lair or if it's the Jaws Secret Lair or any of the other Secret Lairs, let me know down below in the comments. I'm super excited for 2026. There's a lot of cool highs and some cards and some sets that I'm not a big fan of. I'm really excited for The Hobbit. I'm such a big Hobbit fan. So again, if you'd like to see me build any of these decks, comment down below and stay tuned as I get these videos out. And with that out of the way, thank you for stomping by.